Hey guys, how's it going? Coach Tyson from Ox Strength and welcome back to our YouTube. It's been quite some time हामीले YouTube video नबनाएको. That's obviously not an excuse. It just didn't fall in the priority list for the things to do for us. अनि पहिला चाहिँ हामी like अलिकति more freer हुन्थ्यो and then this was the full-time kind of job, but then now we've moved on in life as well with the gym and lots of things happening around everything. But एउटा कुराले चाहिँ ठ्याक्क strike गर्यो के मलाई I was watching an older video जुनमा चाहिँ deadlift wedge गर्नु मैले सिकाइरहेको थिएँ अनि त्यो हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ like there were some things that I had forgotten now and it again helped me to improve my own deadlift and then which also helped Ojas and then some of our other clients who were facing a similar issue. त्यो के हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ ल मैले यस्तो भिडियो बनाएँ त later down the line मलाई नै काम लाग्दो रहेछ. Like हुन त मैले खासमा भिडियो बनाउने one of the reasons was also because we could always go back and track in time, but then it didn't feel so powerful until I learned so much from the video that I made त्यो बेला, which is relevant even to this day. So त्यही सोच्दै like we should make more powerlifting content. यस्तो चाहिँ एउटा concept दिमागमा आयो. And then like कस्तो भन्ने like यो गर्यो भने चाहिँ पछि maybe it can help me again or it can help some of you guys and then just हुन्छ अनि we should really get back to the roots of powerlifting because even to this day like hardcore powerlifting content बनाउने channel पनि छैन and then I think we're kind of responsible for making those videos. Like nobody really talks about powerlifting and then पहिला हामीले मात्रै गरिरहेको थियो अब फेरि नहुँदाखेरि चाहिँ it just felt super odd. So we're trying to get back to this topic again. But with that being said, आजको main concept चाहिँ for me was the emergence of powerlifting. अनि what is the misconception of powerlifting progress that's happening in the industry within lifters, people who are just starting out, people who've been there for quite some time. So just wanted to share my few thoughts and then maybe it helps you understand the sport better and then maybe 5 years down the line when I forget my own roots, then I can also watch this video back because I just watched a few of my older videos where I talk about mindset, motivation, all of those things and it really helped me channel certain things like when you should not copy technique, when you should hit depth. यस्तो भिडियोहरु हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ मलाई पनि लाइक यस्तो भिडियो चाहिँ बनाउनु पर्दो रहेछ भन्ने जस्तो भयो. So yeah, so the first topic is emergence of powerlifting. So powerlifting in general is just growing so much in Nepal and all around the world. Like there's people who started 2 years back and then they're already doing things that took me 5, 6, 7, 8 years. There are kids who are just 20 years old, but they're already doing some crazy shit in Nepal and also all around the world. Like, for example, let's say some stuff like milestone numbers are 275 kg squat, 272.5 kg squat, which I did weighing 100 kgs. Now guys are creeping in like within 80 kg body weight, and then that's just shifting and then there's weight class battles in every single weight category from the 66 all the way up to 105 and even the heavier guys are doing super duper well. पहिला कस्तो हुन्थ्यो भन्दाखेरि there was one guy, me, just doing his thing, winning everybody by like 100 kgs and it felt kind of unachievable because only one guy is doing it. He must have something, the right genetics, the right environment, whatever. But now we're seeing people from all walks of life, all different weight categories, like different मै राम्रो भइराछ. यसले गर्दाखेरि स्पोर्टलाई ओभरअल त नेट पोजिटिभ नै भइराछ in general. But what I feel like the concept of powerlifting is like अहिले चाहिँ कस्तो भयो भने everyone can do it जस्तो चाहिँ सोच्नु थाले के मान्छेहरूले. So त्यो सोच्नु थालेपछि चाहिँ that's where the tangent happens in a sense like everyone's thinking they can do it. I mean, everyone can do it, but now there are more people putting in the work that people weren't putting back in the day. त्यो concept चाहिँ एउटा बिर्स्यो. लाइक अब मैले हिजो देखिरहेको भाइ अब अहिले 650 टोटल हानिरहेको छ फर इक्जाम्पल. सो त्यो हेर्दाखेरि उसको वरिपरिको मान्छेहरू अल्सो स्टार्ट टु थिङ्क लाइक ए ल यो त साँच्चीकै इजी नै छ क्या हो, म पनि गर्नु सक्छु क्या हो. त्यस्तो पनि इजी छैन इज वाट आइ एम ट्राइङ टु गेट एट. लाइक एभ्रीबडी हुज बिन इन सर्टेन पोजिसन्स वेयर दे आर fortunate enough or working hard enough to win competitions are thinking ए ल यो त गर्न सकिहाल्दो रहेछ, यो बुझे भाइ त अस्तिसम्म केही थिएन, यसले त गर्नु थाल्यो म पनि त गर्नु सकिहाल्छु and which is not a bad concept to have but आफूलाई एउटा रिलेटेबल पोजिसनमा चाहिँ सबैजनाले हालेर म पनि गर्नु सक्छु भनेर आफूलाई अलरेडी गरिसकेको पोजिसनमा राख्दाखेरि चाहिँ इट्स रियली haunting most people's progress. So let's say for example we see this little kid who started training last year and then now he totals 600, but then this other guy is at the gym not putting as much effort as this little kid who just totaled 600. He's not locked in with his diet, he's not locked in with his nutrition, he's not locked in with any of those things. Just because this little kid did it, he puts himself in a position because last year this guy was better than that little kid. So त्यो पोजिसनमा आफूलाई हालेर चाहिँ म पनि त त्यो जस्तो प्रोग्रेस हुनुपर्छ नि भनेर चाहिँ पिपल आर थिङ्किङ अ लट मोर हैन सो त्यो हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ इट्स रुइनिङ द प्रोग्रेस फर दिस गाई हुज मेन प्रायोरिटी इज अभियसली नट फिटनेस सो यस्तो हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ इट बिकेम एक्सट्रिमली रिलेटेबल एन्ड आई डोन्ट वान्ट यु टु थिङ्क द्याट द स्पोर्ट इज इजी इट्स डेफिनेटली गन टेक एफर्ट अब कसैको ग्रोथ स्पोर्ट डिफ्रेन्ट हुन्छ Like for me, for example, I started getting strong super fast early on, but then later as I crossed the 700 mark, my progress obviously slowed down. Just had to do a lot more things to get things more dialed in. Whereas for some people, like it's just gonna take harder. For example, mere bench ke kura garnu, since this is the video I'm talking about everything. Mere bench, it was so weak for a very long time, and now it's in a position where it's taking big strides that I wasn't even getting early on in my career. So सबैजनाको ग्रोथ स्पोर्ट यस्तोहरू सबै कुरा नै डिफ्रेन्ट हुने भएको भएर चाहिँ I don't think we should just be like ए ल यसले पनि गर्यो यो this that guy did it, I should be able to do it. त्यो कन्सेप्ट भयो भने चाहिँ आफ्नै प्रोग्रेसलाई नै गाह्रो हुन्छ because it's not gonna happen. Maybe you're not the chosen one, right? So त्यो भयो भने like you're just gonna be fumbling all over the place. So that's the one thing that I really wanted to talk about. Second is when people come for coaching, especially to me or to anybody who's relatively successful in the sport, it's like, okay, if I get coached by, let's say, Ojas, I will also be like Ojas. And then, let's say, Ojas ko 3-4 top clients or coach, I will also be like these 3 people if I get coached by him. But the coach and the student co-relationship is going to get compromised if things of this sort happen. Let's say somebody comes to me looking at my roster, oh, I want to be like Ojas, I want to be like Ayush, I want to be like Neha, I want to be like, you know, Moidai, whoever, I got a lot of athletes, right? So त्यो हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ हुँदैन नि त right away हुँदैन is what I'm trying to get at. It's not like, oh, I give you a program, it's not just going to magically happen. So त्यो हुँदाखेरि again the blame comes to the coach. In certain cases, yeah, maybe valid points are huncha, but in most cases what I've noticed is like the people who are coming to me for coaching and then is not getting the outcome that they want. Oftentimes it leads to those people not continuing the sport for a long time because they probably believed in the first point. Oh, just यदि deadlift अचानक राम्रो भएछ, for example, and मेरो त किन भएन त? Then because they don't see the body of work, like just because this other guy did it doesn't mean you will also be able to do it. So that ends up becoming a loop. So I can connect this point to the previous point, like saying, okay, मैले अस्ति एउटा भाइसँग कुरा गरेको थिएँ फुन्सोक, like I'm extremely proud of Funsok, especially with what he's done with this squad. I say Funsok because most of him know him Barbell Nepal ko through. Extremely proud of his squad. Like he was somebody who came to me with really bad squats. And actually, deadlift राम्रो थियो, bench and squat really weak back in the day. And then he was like, you know, squatting like into the 140s, 130, 140. And then when we look at him physically, like at the time, we'd never be like, oh, this guy can squat 220 kg. Nobody would think that. But then when he squatted 220 kg, I'm like extremely proud of him. And I was telling one guy comes to the gym and he's like, oh, Funsokko दाइको squat कस्तो अचानक राम्रो भयो. I'm like, bro, यो अचानक भएको हैन नि. There's been like so many things that we've done to get his squat to where it's at. Now, for some people, 220, let's say just for me as well, 220, bro, 1 year training. I started powerlifting, I started squatting. first comp, 195, second comp, 220, finished. It's like, but for some other people, it just takes so much effort. And then when somebody says, hey, ल अचानक भयो है, अब फुन्चकले directly भन्यो, they'd be more pissed off. मलाई भन्दा I was like, no bro, यस्तो हुँदैन. So यस्तो कन्सेप्टहरु चाहिँ powerlifting growth भएको भएदेखि everyone thinks 220 squat is easy because we're seeing like, you know, even 19, 20-year-old kids in Nepal doing 220 now. So it's not easy is what I'm trying to say. And just because you are working with a particular coach, you're just going to be like every other clients that they have. But when you're working with a coach, especially the one with a diverse clientele, you know, people from all different weight class, I know people from all different like male, female, masters lifters, super heavy, super light, you know, new lifters, old washed out lifters who came, and then your overall progress with the trend भएको coach सँग काम गरिरहेछ भने चाहिँ and then people who their coaching have stuck around with them for like years and years, हो भने चाहिँ there is a higher probability that you succeed because the coach will have more input on the data. Like, because if I face a problem, अस्ति अब मेरो एउटा wedging problem भइरहेको थियो आफ्नै sumo deadliftमा, but I have seen many people struggle with the wedge नि त. I've seen Oda struggle with the wedge, I've seen Nia struggle with the wedge, I've seen other athletes, I don't want to name names of other people who don't want to be in the videos. I'm just saying like many people have had issues with the wedge, right? So I have a long clientele, like somebody with a short femur, like just wedging sequence different. So whereas let's say somebody like Mohit Dai in the sumo deadlift with longer femurs, or Aditya in the deadlift with longer femurs, wedging sequence different. So now I have more clientele. I have two people with long femurs. One is 890 kg, one is 120 kg. And then I have others who are also 63 kg. So I have a better idea of how to probably solve the issue faster. I may have better idea as to how to pick this person because I've seen many types of peaks. I've seen lots of different, like just ton of example, ton of tools where I can help you navigate the path quicker. But most of the things would still lie in your corner. How do you report back to the coach? I think your social media trend kind of like गर्दाखेरि पनि people are relating themselves with elite level lifters, हैन? पर्किनले एउटा केही कुरा भन्दै ओके सेल्फ लिफ्ट अफ गर्नुपर्छ, ग्याभिन एडिनले सेल्फ लिफ्ट अफ गर्नुपर्छ भने everybody is like okay self lift off is the way to go. But the video को पछाडीको 5 मिनेट त कुरै गरे छैन. त्यो फर्स्ट को एउटा टाइटल हेर्यो and then त्यसमा चाहिँ अड्किराख्यो, and then we look at other people and then just compare and then end up reaching nowhere in the end. So त्यो पनि एउटा big issue जस्तो नै मैले देखिरहेको हुन्छु. So I think coaching मा चाहिँ त्यही नै हो. But also, and the last thing is that with the emergence of powerlifting, again, there are lots of coaches in the market, right? And then coaches are issue चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने they don't have the experience or the clientele to provide the right amount of adequate volume. आफूले जे गरेछ त्यो मात्रै गराउँछ कोचहरुलाई, क्लाइन्टहरुलाई exactly same. मेरो squat भने ओ जसको squat, मैले bench press हाने ओ जसको bench press, but we're not looking at, you know, lots of things. But the major thing coaches are not looking at is that is the client actually getting stronger, or are you just adding more workload over time? This is the biggest one that coaches need to understand. With the body of work, you know, केही न केही गर्यो, volume, general volume, like squat आज गर्यो, भोलि गर्यो, पर्सि गर्यो, you get better in the squat. That is not what coaches are doing. किनभने that anybody can do. You just pull up a template, give him a single, give him a triple, give him 3 sets of 3 after that, and just try to add it over time, 3, 4, 5 week sequence, and then call it a deload after that. Anyone will progress. You don't need to get a coach for that. But what you have to look at is that what is your tracking metric that shows that your client is progressing up. For me, I only use estimated 1 RM. त्यो पनि अब estimated 1 RM पनि like calculator मा हालेर ए ल बढ्दै छ त्यसो. We track it from week to week. If an athlete is doing, let's say, 180 kg for a single, RPE 6, 185 kg for a single, RPE 8 भयो भने RP 8 भयो भने sure बलियो त भएको छैन. The weight on the bar is up. Yeah, 180 बाट 185 पुग्यो. Week 3 190, RPE 9. Week 4 RPE 10 195. You actually got weaker over time. This is the concept that coaches cannot grasp. They're thinking, oh, it's going up, you're getting stronger. No, when a coach makes a program, the progression has to be there, not just in the weight, but a metric that I use is E1RM. Some people also use velocity trackers. I've dabbled into velocity trackers a bit, but I find it only useful when we pair it with the right RPE as well. Because velocity tracker there could be lots of variables, just like it could be with estimate 1RM. So duita variable or track is good, but we need to know that the athlete is progressing not just by the body of work, because like I said, if you just do the body of work, the client will progress. So at the end, I think it all comes full circle on these three things that doesn't really bother me, because I understand it really clearly, that some people simply just don't have the talent for it to go the long way. I know, but it's not just about doing certain things for long enough. It's also means what is realistic. I know, आफूले के गर्नु सक्छ. Now, हल्का delulu त everybody needs a little bit of a delusion in their life. Not that athlete, I walk around saying, oh, I'm going to squat 325, I'm going to bench this, I'm going to deadlift this, that, whatever. Alikati delusion to hunu parcha athlete ma, that will only strive you to go forward. But if you start comparing yourselves to people who are weaker than you yesterday and now they're stronger, and then that will just end up in people not being in the sport. Because at the end of the day, powerlifting is a long ass sport. Longevity is extremely important. Consistency over the years is really important. And if you start comparing yourself to this and that guy, then it always makes you, leave the sport faster, because you feel like, oh, this guy's gonna catch up now, I need to leave before this guy catches up to me, or like, oh, यसले गर्दा यसको त भयो मेरो भएन, यस्तो हुन थाल्यो भने भयो. And second one, when you get a coach, work with the coach to help make you better, rather than just blaming the coach or like saying, oh, this coach is not helping me, I'm not becoming like his clients. Because every coach will have all different types of clients. But you need to know that you are making progress, not by adding weight, but the graph that I talked about earlier. And then finally, coaches also need to make the athletes stronger, not just give them some XYZ number and then बल्यो त भइहाल्छ. आखिरमा जो पनि बल्यो हुन्छ हुन्छ. If you just train without any program, just go and lift weight, that's half of it. So I think your tinta tangent conversation, like people think everything is like super easy because this guy done it. Oh yeah, this guy done it. That's why we make new weight. अब मैले कहिले पनि 200 squat break नगरेको भए, for example, I don't want to take any credit, but if I never done 200, then people would never chase 200. मैले start गर्दा I never thought about 300. I never thought I'd be able to squat or deadlift 300 in my life, I swear. But now it's like 75 kg ko केटाहरुले, they're aiming for 300, right? Somebody has to do it, and then it just gets better and better, and that's just the sport of it. But if we understand those concepts, then we can make progress in powerlifting. And yeah, I think that was a video, not a very short one, but I think informative for you if you want to go the long way for sure. Hopefully we come back with more videos. I want to promote the sport of powerlifting. Everything for me, wherever I go, I've reached. I don't think I'm successful yet, but je pani bhayo is through powerlifting, and it's through this channel, because I literally, a kid with a camera, started like yesto channel back in 2017, I would like to say, maybe 2017, my first YouTube video haleko. So it's almost been a decade. So I want to make these kind of videos, and then just compare my thoughts over the years as well. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you've watched all the way towards the end, hashtag progress is not easy. Just comment that, and then I will know that you watched until the end. If you want coaching from any one of us from Oxtrend, you know where to DM Oxtrend System on Instagram, and then if anything else, you can just ask us directly in the DMs as well. All right, until then, be strong.